Well, from sports hero to murder suspect, South Africans say they're stunned by the arrest of Oscar Pistorius.
The Olympic track star broke down in tears as he appeared in court Friday to face charges of killing his girlfriend. Prosecutors say they will argue that the 26-year-old Pistorius committed premeditated murder in the death of Riva Steenkamp. Steenkamp, a model and a law school graduate, was found dead at the athlete's home in a gated community in Pretoria on Valentine's Day. Police say she was shot with a pistol registered to Pistorius. Pistorius made history last August when he became the first double amputee to run at the Olympics. He is known as the Blade Runner for competing on high-tech artificial legs.
Pistorius is said to be cooperating with investigators, and joining us now via Skype is VOA correspondent Anita Powell in Johannesburg. Hello, Anita. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thanks.
So, of course, Pistorius is denying these allegations of shooting his girlfriend as a premeditative effort. But at the same time, also, the court case was quite dramatic today, right? Tell us more about that.
It was a very dramatic morning in Pretoria today. Oscar Pistorius entered the courtroom and could hardly keep himself from dissolving into tears. On several occasions, he rested his head in his hands and just sobbed silently, especially when the judge mentioned that the charge would be murder, and when the head prosecutor said that they were going to argue premeditated murder.
And where do things go from here? On Tuesday, I understand there is going to be another trial. What is that about?
Right, both the prosecution and the defense asked for a delay. The defense said that they needed to meet with their client and to go to the property, and the prosecution said that they thought that was a very fair request and that more investigation needed to be done. So they're just postponing the bail hearing. However, when the bail hearing happens, which is on Tuesday, Pistorius' defense team is going to have to present evidence that proves that he merits bail, and the evidence they're going to have to present is going to have to be extraordinary, because he's facing what's called a level 6 offense, which means that under very few circumstances is a South African court going to let him out on bail.
Now, Anita, let's talk a little bit about Pistorius. You know, obviously many people are saying that they are very shocked by what happened, but then there's also a lot of information that is coming out about the change in his character over the last 10, 12 years that maybe gave an indication that something like this was just a question of time. Can you give us some insight into that?
Well, sure. I mean, this is just anecdote. Just to be clear, this isn't legally admissible. But I spoke to a good friend of his today, somebody who's known him for about 10 years. And what he said was that Oscar's always had a temper, but that what has changed in the last 10 years is that he's gotten a lot of money, and he hasn't exactly known how to handle that. Mm-hmm. So that does indicate maybe a change in his character, but that is speculative. Okay. And we'll learn more about that during his trial, I'm sure.
For sure. Let's talk briefly also about the girlfriend who was killed in this particular case. She was a rising star, it seems.
Right. I mean, I think what really defines Riva Steenkamp is her determination in every aspect of life. I spoke to somebody who knew her who said that at one point she was involved in farmers markets, and she sold home produce, and she would wake up every weekend at 4 a.m. to go to the market and sell the produce. She applied the same determination, it seems, to everything in her life. She graduated from Nelson Mandela University with a law degree. Then she came to Johannesburg to be a model, and as I've learned earlier in her career, she was considered a little larger, a little too large to be a model, and she really dedicated herself to achieving the goal of reaching those measurements.
Mm-hmm. Well, clearly, clearly
right.
She reached her goal of looking like a model, because she really was gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Yes, I think we can agree that she was beautiful.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Anita Powell reporting from Johannesburg. Thank you.